short agenda today, and we got enough voters here. So what I'd like to do is call to order the Wednesday, September 9th, 2015 Board of Adjustment meeting. Roll call, please.
McGuire.
Here.
Stein.
Here.
Stonebarger.
Here.
Shriver.
Here.
Bill Johnson.
Here.
Rhonda Johnson.
Here.
Dolly.
Here.
Albertson. Here. And Mr. Arnold is absent. But we have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the August 20th, 2015 minutes. Could I get a motion and a second?
Approve.
Motion by Mr. Stein, second by Mr. Dolly. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. For the record, second item on the agenda is an application for an adjustment on a earlier variance, permit number 16320, and Mr. Stein will recuse himself from this as he has an interest in ESCO manufacturing.
A small interest.
Small interest. Ken?
All right, this is application for building permit number 16222, ESCO Manufacturing. Application was submitted requesting to enlarge an existing non-conforming industrial facility by constructing a non-conforming offices addition. Said structure proposed to be constructed 45.9 feet from the front north side of the property line where 75-foot setback is required, 16.05 feet from the side east property line where a minimum of 50-foot setback is required. 16.05, it says here that it's 24.6.
16 was the original variant.
Am I reading the wrong paper? I apologize, I am reading the wrong paper. Pardon me, I have to restart here.
We only got two items and you screwed it up.
I know, and I really goofed up on the first one. Scratch all that. This is application for building permit number 16320. ESCO Manufacturing Company. Application was submitted requesting to enlarge an existing non-conforming industrial facility by constructing a non-conforming offices addition. Said structure proposed to be constructed 45.9 feet from the front north property line where a minimum of 75 feet setback is required, and 24.6 feet from the side east property line where a minimum 50-foot setback is required. And yes, as you know, on 7/23/15, the Board of Adjustment approved application number 16222 to enlarge an existing legal non-conforming I-2 zoned industrial facility by constructing a non-conforming 5,000 square foot, two-story office additions, 50 by 50 footprint, 2,500 square feet per floor with a 288 square foot, 14 by 24 canopied roof entry, 45.9 feet from the north and 1605 from the west. Basically what they did is they came back. Tim, why don't you turn on the overhead, would you please? And they just wanted to enlarge that building now from the 50 feet to 70 feet. This has also allowed them to do some interconnection between the two buildings that are actually going to line up much nicer and everything else. They've lengthened it 20, but they've also pushed it over from our original 16 feet to 24 feet, and thereby lessening the setback on the east side that we had before. They're maintaining the exact same setback we had from the north side before. Again, we just went from 50 to 70. All public notice requirements have been met. Nobody's notified us pro or con on any issue here.
The north side should be 50 feet and they're asking for 45.8.
The north side should be 75.
75. So the difference there, but that encroachment hasn't gotten any larger.
Right.
And the encroachment on the east has actually gotten
And actually,
roughly 8 feet less.
go back to the other one for just a second, yeah. And you're not supposed to consider it, but, you know, this is still basically in line with the adjacent neighbor when they build, but not that's.
Okay, with that, I'll open the public hearing if anyone's here to speak on behalf or against the variance. Any questions for the board to them on that?
Your parking then, right where all those cars are, is that just your employees? And then they'll just get shoved down?
That is correct. Essentially, what we'll be doing is moving down to the west for those employees, and then they'll just start parking from there, and we'll have some on the north side also, as well as a majority of those work on the south side of the building, and there's definitely enough room there for parking as well.
Who are you?
I'm out
No,
there.
who are you?
Oh, Kevin Morris with ESCO Manufacturing.
And they do have ample area to add more parking if required. They've more than surpassed with land area, any requirements they might need for parking.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Ask for a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Albertson,
Second.
second by Mr. Stonebarger. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is applicant Gary and Anita Shepherd, permit number 16319, are seeking a conditional use approval to rebuild a building at 621 First Avenue Northeast. This is one that's in a C3 commercial district, and due to financing reasons, where they need a conditional use approval for financing.
Where's my bookmarks go? I'll get out of this thing and I might find them, huh? There we go. Sorry about that. Good thing this is a short meeting.
You're working on 0 for 2 already.
I know it's. Again, this is application number 16319, conditional use request and appeal. Application was submitted requesting the ability to rebuild an existing non-conforming structure, use, a single-family dwelling located in the C3 Highway Commercial District in the event of casualty pursuant to the terms of 21-280-318, which basically allows for the rebuilding of any I-1, I-2 use in this zone. Again, this is a conditional use within that aspect. Refinancing issues have compelled the applicants to seek Board of Adjustment approval for the ability to use and rebuild this 1902 single-family dwelling. In the event that it would ever be damaged beyond 60% of its value. This is a substandard C3 highway commercial zone parcel that has been used heretofore as a single-family property, but single-family developments are not permitted use in the C3 zone. Yep, that's it.
Thank you. With that, I'll open the public hearing if anyone's here to speak on behalf or against the conditional use. Ken, this is one that a few years back, we made the offer to
Yep.
rezone this. What was the reasoning that it was declined?
Well, I think they are here to speak on the behalf if they need to be. But basically, I think at the time they weren't aware of the housing restriction changes that have came about since the housing deal. The banks didn't have that big an issue, and now they did. I don't know, Gary, come up here for a second.
What's that?
Just state your name.
Gary Shepherd.
And they're wondering why you didn't take the opportunity to rezone to R2 at the time it was offered a few years back.
I didn't understand, we've lived there for 40 years, or almost 40 years. We've never had trouble financing or anything else. I didn't understand why we needed to rezone, so I just said leave it the way it was, so. I guess it wasn't clear that I was gonna end up with
And issue some data.
Tricky,
yeah,
a tricky
trouble
property to
financing,
finance.
yeah. Because it was always able to finance in the past, so it was never a problem.
Okay. Can we make a note that the next time we revisit a larger scale rezone like R2A, can we include this property in there so we don't have to?
Sure.
I think we should do that. That way we don't hold up his refinance. Any questions for the applicant? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, ask for a motion and a second for discussion.
A motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Stonebarger. Second by Mr. Dolly. All in favor say, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any old business, Ken?
No, believe it or not.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mrs. Johnson,
Second.
second by Mr. Stein. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.